You want to end the year with a bang, like with main character, delicious energy, you're going to want to watch this video. Now, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Bethany, and here at The Curated Feminine, I specialize in helping women to really enhance and elevate their lives, their relationships, everything within through feminine energy. Now, if you've been here with me for a while, you'll know that we don't just fizzle out at the end of the year. We don't just wait for the next year to come by. Instead, we like to take the last month of the year to reflect on what has been and also to set goals for the new year. So that's what this video will be about. And not just how to do that, because that's very strategic and very boring. I'm going to teach you how to do it in a really fun, exciting way that will seriously set you up for 2024. Now, as I said before, I specialize in helping women to really connect with their feminine energy. However, that is just one piece to the puzzle. There's a lot of misconceptions on the internet around, oh, if I just want to be in my feminine energy, I will just flow through life and everything will happen for me, and that is not how that works at all. If you're curious about that, you can go back and watch some of my other videos on masculine and feminine energetics. But today what we're going to talk about is the action piece, because if you want a beautiful, incredible life, you do need to take action to actually make that happen. So I'm going to teach you how to do that through 5 different steps. Now, the first is to revisit your vision board from the last year. If you don't have one, don't panic. That is completely okay. Instead, you can revisit any goals that you've tracked. And if you still haven't tracked your goals, that is also okay. Instead, what you can do is look at these prompts that I'm about to give you. Now, vision boards are incredibly important. I used to view vision boards like this really cute habit that I could look at sometimes that would add like an aesthetic to my overall life. And that is not how they work at all. You will have days as a human being where you feel deflated. Even throughout your cycle, you feel different throughout your monthly cycle, right? So you will have days where you wake up and you just don't have it in you. Doesn't matter how much inner work you've done, doesn't matter how healed you are, because you're a human being, you're gonna have days where you're not feeling very motivated. Vision boards help you to remember why you're doing what you're doing in the first place. They're also, like I'm about to teach you, a great reminder for what you've accomplished. There are things that I wrote on my vision board for 2023, and I got to the end of this year and I thought, oh, I had an okay year. I did some good things. It was a good year. It was okay. And I looked at my vision board and the different goals that I put on there, and I have ticked off almost every single one. So 2022 Bethany is very impressed with 2023 Bethany, but 2023 Bethany thought she was just, doing okay, skating by. And this is the power of vision boards, is when you're recording your goals and what you want to achieve, when you go back and look at them, you will see you are doing way more than you actually think you're doing. So some prompts for you are, what have I achieved this year and why did I achieve it? What were the steps that I took? How was I feeling when I did it? What did I achieve this year and how did I achieve it? What didn't I achieve this year that was part of my goals or that I wanted to, and why? Now, if there is something like, a death in the family, a divorce, absolutely overwhelming workloads that you really struggle to work through, that's completely okay. You're human. So you write them down and then we will work out a strategy for next year for how you can still get past those blocks to live a really fulfilled life and actually achieve your goals. What worked well this year? What did I do that I absolutely loved? What filled me with joy this year? What didn't work so well? What relationships didn't work so well? What would I have changed about the last year that I would love to see differently next year? You can look at what your vision was, if you had a vision board, or what you think your vision was. Human beings are very biased with our memory, right? So what you think your vision is now might be completely different to what you thought it was earlier this year. But nevertheless, if you didn't write it down, have a think about what you thought your vision would be for this year, and what would you change about it for next year? What inner growth did you have that has prompted any changes for next year where you don't want to achieve exactly the same goals? Think about those and write them down. And then the last one is my favorite. If you were a main character in a movie, like a delicious, beautiful, incredible movie, what would the soundtrack be? What would you be wearing? What would your significant other look like? If you already have a significant other, don't play that game. Well, we can look at that later. But if you're single, what would your significant other look like? What are your children doing and accomplishing? What kind of house you're living in? So think about what your main character would be. Think about the trials and tribulations she goes through too, because as a human being, you'll go through plenty of those. Think about all of those things and use that vibe to create your vision for next year. So what you want to do is reflect on all of that. Spend a couple of hours, light a candle, put on a beautiful soundtrack, put on a beautiful playlist, and write down all of those prompts so you can get a really clear vision for next year, which will be another step. Now, the next step is to do a digital clean out. Now, if you follow me on any other forms of social media, you'll know that I speak about this fairly often, but your feed in any social media platforms that you're on is paramount. There are algorithms working both for and against you on any kind of social media. So take Instagram, for example. Anybody that you follow should be bringing you something. It shouldn't be mindless entertainment. It shouldn't be scrolling. So go through, actually no, I'll tell you what to do first. There is a values assessment by a brilliant psychologist called Dr. DeMartini. My first ever mentor took me through this when I first started working with her. And now I take all of my clients through this as well. There are 13 questions that will help you to evaluate what your top 5 values are. So the top 5 things that you value most in life. Go and do that assessment and then think about those top 5 things. So for me, for example, it's aesthetics. I really highly value beautiful things. And I'm not just talking about makeup, not that. I mean art, culture, beautiful food. That's really important to me. Family is another one that's really important to me. Psychology and the human mind is incredibly important to me. Those are all in my top values. So everything in my social media feeds are around that. Success is wrapped up into each of those values. That's important to me too. Your social media feeds should be working for you. So if you are following accounts that don't align with the top 5 things that you value most in life, you should be unfollowing them. If you find yourself mindlessly scrolling until 2 o'clock in the morning, sending your partner memes, even though it feels cute at the time, you're wasting your time. And you should definitely stop doing that. That means that your social media feed is working against you and it has you just eating up whatever it sends to you. And that is not the goal. You should be in control of the electronics that you use. You should be in control of the social media platforms that you use, not the other way around. So go through all of your social media platforms with those top 5 values in mind and unfollow every single account that doesn't align with what you value most in life and be really, really harsh about it. Next is to clean out your photos. The reason I suggest that is we all as a society, I mean, I'm sure there's a few exceptions, but most of my ladies on here are like me. Most of us take a lot of photos, and going into your phone with a completely fresh album and having everything organized is refreshing for the new year. This is not going to change your life, right? But it will make you feel so much better. This is part of the digital cleanup process. So download a duplicate photo app, so one that will find duplicate photos for you, and clean out all of the duplicates. Because anytime you post on Instagram, on Facebook, sometimes you'll take multiple photos in a row. You're gonna have multiple photos of the same thing on your phone. It clogs up your phone. It weighs down it slows your phone down as well. It's just not worth having in there. And also because we live in a digital age, as you're transferring photos to your computer, like my husband just did for us before, and let me tell you, Bethany 2020 and beforehand was really messy with her digital photo stock. Make sure that you're actually cleaning it out, because most of us are going to be storing albums upon albums of photos for future, and you just want to make it easier for you to go through. Next, delete all of the apps in your phone that don't serve you. Again, this is not going to change your life, but it does prevent you from getting distracted. So if you only tend to use your banking app, maybe a few social media platforms, maybe your kid's school app like I do, there's only a few apps that you really utilize all the time. And if there's a ton of them, maybe have a think about if you need to be using so many apps and using your phone so often. Most of us really only utilize a few apps. So when you have all of these old apps in your phone, every time you go to scroll through your phone, it just weighs you down. And we want to go into the next year feeling light and fresh and airy. So delete any and all apps that are not actually relevant to you anymore. Number 3 is possibly my favorite, and that is to evaluate your energy going into the next year. There are also common misconceptions on the internet about how to handle friendships. There are things that I've seen being taught where you should just instantly get rid of friendships if they don't serve you properly. There's a lot of cutting off women who you think aren't going to get you to the next level. And that's not what I'm talking about, although sometimes there is a time and place for that. But you should be looking through every single person in your life and evaluating what your energy has felt like with them throughout this year. There have been certain people in my life, people that I've been close to this year, where I've realized every single time I'm around them, I feel exhausted. It drains my energy. They don't even have to necessarily be doing anything wrong. But if they are, if they're absolutely talking my ear off with gossip or with things that are totally irrelevant to me or only talking about themselves, that's draining. That's really exhausting as a human being. And so I purposely spend less time with them. I don't cut them off, but I don't spend as much time with them as I normally would. You should 100% be doing the same. I don't mean you have to get really harsh and cut off half the people in your life, but you should 100%, not every year, every few months, be reevaluating where your energy goes and how your energy feels around certain people. And those that light you up, you should be spending more time with them. My daughter's godparents, for example, is one that I did not spend enough time with this year, and they absolutely light me up. I walk away feeling refreshed and excited about life every time I speak with them. I will be spending more time with them next year. So think about all of the different people in your life and what your energy feels like after you've been in their presence, and write down a to-do list with those people. How often do you want to spend time with them? And stick to it. Put boundaries in place for yourself. Next is to clean out your closet. Not like that, but maybe. Clean out your actual closet. So go through and look at everything that you wore this year, or if you even wore it at all. If you have clothes in your closet that you haven't worn in years and years and years, take them out. I'll give you a random example of why this can be really helpful. So this dress is a dress that I used to wear all the time before I had my beautiful third daughter. I had her 2.5 years ago, and even though I was still trying to lose the baby weight after I had her, I had this dress and several others even smaller than this sitting in my closet. And every time I'd open up my closet, I'd think I have so much to wear, and I didn't. And not only that, but I had this little reminder, this like, oh, why haven't you lost the baby weight yet? Subconsciously in my mind, because that dress was sitting there. And I don't even mean I was that harsh with myself about it. It was just like this little inkling reminder over and over again. When losing weight hasn't necessarily been at the top of my to-do list this year, I didn't need the constant baggage reminder. So earlier this year, I took all these dresses, I folded it and put it away. And only recently, as I've lost the baby weight and accomplished some really beautiful health goals, did I start to pull out some of the dresses that fit me again. And that way it wasn't weighing me down the whole year, having to think about what fits me and what doesn't. So I highly suggest you do the same. Anything that doesn't fit you very well anymore, anything that doesn't make you feel incredible when you wear it, anything where you try to pull it out of the closet sometimes and put it on because it's expensive or because your great aunt gave it to you, but you don't actually like wearing it, just either store it away or donate it. You'll feel really good if you donate it and just get it out of your house. As part of this closet clearing exercise, you should also know your color palette. You should really know your color palette. There's some women that feel like it's stifling if you can only wear certain colors. My rule of thumb is always you should know the colors that will make you glow. I only realized recently that intuitively there were some dresses that I had bought and just wouldn't want to wear because I never quite felt pretty in them. It's because they weren't in my color palette. If you know what your color palette is, then as you're pulling things out to donate or give away, etc., as you're pulling those out, you'll be much more likely to pull out the dresses that aren't within the dresses. I wear a lot of dresses, you can tell. You'll be much more likely to pull out the tops, the bottoms, any clothing items that don't actually serve you very well, that you don't look your absolute sparkling, glowy best in. And then if you know your color palette and you've gone through and done this closet clear out, anything that you buy next year is much more likely to actually serve you so that you don't waste your money and you look delicious in everything you wear. This includes pajamas. I have one woman in my world who came to me a couple of months ago and told me that after we had a discussion about pajamas, she threw away all of her old t-shirts and bought beautiful new pajamas, and now she feels fabulous every time she wears them. And there is something to be said about being a woman and wearing beautiful things at night just for you. If you've been following me here for a while, you've heard me speak about this before, but the clothes that you wear during the day, yes, it's for you, but other people see them as well, right? You still need to adhere to certain dress codes. At night, there is no dress code besides what makes you feel really good. And I guarantee you, your old college t-shirts do not make you feel very good. If you have really beautiful silky pajamas and lace camisoles and even just long sleeve satin pajamas, anything that has a beautiful, soft, feminine material that's flowy, that's sexy. So either you get to enjoy it or your partner gets to enjoy it or both of you get to enjoy it. Anything that you wear that makes you feel really beautiful at night is just for you or just for you and your significant other. And there is a real power in that. So as you're cleaning out your closet, clean out your lingerie drawer too. Only wear pretty things. Now next and last, we want to create our vision board for the next year. Now the first prompt that I want you to start with this is my absolute favorite, and that is I want you to envision yourself as the main character in a beautiful movie that is made precisely for you. If you were a main character in a movie, like a delicious, beautiful, incredible movie, what would the soundtrack be? What would you be wearing? What would your significant other look like? If you already have a significant other, don't play that game. Well, we can look at that later. But if you're single, what would your significant other look like? What are your children doing and accomplishing? What kind of house you're living in? So think about what your main character would be. Think about the trials and tribulations she goes through too, because as a human being, you'll go through plenty of those. Think about all of those things and use that vibe to create your vision for next year. Now, I have 3 main categories that I break goals into when I am working with my clients and also when I'm building my vision board, and that is mind, body, and soul, just to keep it nice and simple. So any goals for your mind that are going to go on your vision board are going to be things like, do I want to learn a new language? Do I want to learn a new instrument? Maybe piano practice is something that you put on there. Do I want to learn how to cook certain foods? Anything that will enhance your knowledge, your intellectual levels will go in the mind category. Body will be anything to do with your physical self. So is there a haircut that you've been wanting to get that you never did? Or maybe you want to grow your hair out. Is there a certain level of glowiness that you want to get your skin to? Do you want to make sure that you're getting more facials done? That was a goal of mine this year, is to get facials done every month. I now do that. I feel a lot better for it. My skin looks better for it. Health goals as well, anything to do with maybe toning up certain areas. Maybe you've been wanting to gain weight because you've been stressed and you haven't been eating enough. Anything that goes into your physical self category will go under body. And then lastly, it's soul. So soul has to do with any kind of energetic and spiritual goals that you have. So when I had you do the energy exercise before, where you think about what's been giving and taking away your energy in terms of relationships, goals for that, for your vision board, would go under the soul category. So what do you want your energy to be like next year? Do you want to meditate more? Do you want to engage in more prayer, maybe daily? Do you have any specific energetics practices that you want true mastery of? Like maybe feminine energy is a huge goal for you and you want to really increase and enhance your relationship with it next year. So all of that will go under soul. There are plenty of ways to do a vision board, but I find that those 3 categories encompass so much and it keeps it really, really simple. And make sure that when you put in your goals in your vision board, you are stretching yourself out of your comfort zone. For example, if you have been playing piano, there's a piano right there. This is why I keep mentioning piano. If you have been playing piano for 20 years and you have get better at piano next year on your goal list, I mean, maybe we can go for a juicier goal. You know, maybe we can stretch ourselves a little bit and do a goal that actually lights us up and excites us. So make sure that any goals that you put are stretching you enough out of your comfort zone that you feel excited by it. You should be lit up by your vision board by the end of it. Because what you'll be doing with this vision board is every time you feel stuck, you're going to be going back and looking at your vision board. And also another practice that I recommend is every single week, you should be going through and planning your week and referencing back to your vision board and making sure that all of your goals for the week align with the vision board that you built. So if your vision board bores you, you're going to be bored all year. It will affect your entire year. Make sure your vision board is fun and exciting and aligned with your values and absolutely lights you up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you want to connect on a deeper level through social media, you can follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. It's The Curated Feminine on all 3 platforms. And if you are looking for one-to-one coaching services, I have several different options available that we can work with together. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.